Hi everyone, let's go ahead and get started with Introduction to Deep Learning. In this module, we will be covering basics of the deep learning, like what is the deep learning, what is machine learning and the deep learning, what's the differences between deep learning and the machine learning. We will be also going through what is the neural network, the application of the neural networks and the deep learning, and in the final step, we will try to understand what is the deep learning tools and the machine learning operations and with the help of the AWS. Alright, so let's go ahead and see what is the machine learning process. Alright, so in machine learning, you can see that here you have a multiple steps. All these steps take place here sequentially. You start with the data, thereafter you have pre-processing, machine learning models, and then finally the predictions and application. Let's go ahead and explore these one by one in the detail. So you start with the collecting and the preparing the data set. This is the first step which you use for the training of your machine learning model. So this data must be clean and processed. Thereafter a transformation happens with your data if your data is not in correct format. So this process is somewhere here. You can say that if you have a complete set of the data, then you apply some kind of the algorithm there to make it structured data or a pre-processed data. For example, if you have image data, then you can apply some algorithm to cut your images into the same size. You can do the image augmentation. So all these things comes as the pre-processing step. Similarly, if you have the text data, then you can apply the pre-processing steps to convert text data into the numerical vectors. Otherwise, if you have normal numerical features, then you can apply the data transformations or data normalization or standardization to pre-process your data. Once you have collected your data, pre-process your data, then you can choose your model. There are many different type of machine learning models, each with its own characteristics, strengths and the weakness. Choosing the right model for you requires a lot of the understanding of the problem and the machine learning model itself. Other than that, you need to also understand the characteristics of your data. For example, if you have a very small subset of the data, then classical machine learning models may be sufficient to work with that. But if you have a very large data, then your classical machine learning model may not work better there. So probably then you need to use their deep learning model. Then again, if you have understanding of your data, then you can precisely choose which type of algorithm you need to apply there. For example, if you have image data, then you can use their CNN or convolutional neural network. In coming lectures, we will discuss that. The CNN is a type of the deep learning algorithm. If you have a time related data, then you can use there the RNN. So RNN is kind of the machine learning algorithm, recurrent neural network algorithm, which is applied on the temporal data. That means the data which works with the timeline. So once you have selected your machine learning model, now you have reached at the stage where you can train your model. So once you have prepared your data, chosen the model, you can train your model with the best parameter. There are many ways to improve your model training accuracy. You can do the hyperparameter optimization, or you can design a best model with the the proper number of layers in case of the deep learning, or the proper machine learning models in case of the classical model. Once your training is done, now you have reached at the stage when you can evaluate your model. So overall this process is doing here like the machine learning model training and the evaluation. If your model does not reach to the desired accuracy or the desired result, you can go back, you can choose another model or different model or a different parameter. You can retrain your model. Even after that, if your model is not doing good, then you can come back here, you can change the pre-processing steps in your machine learning. then you can retrain your model and you can evaluate. So you can keep iterating or some number of times the process until you reach your desired result. So once you reach your desired result, that means your model evaluation is successfully performed. Now you are ready to use your model for large prediction. So for real-time prediction or large prediction or batch prediction, you can use your model for the deployment. So that part comes as the ML ops there, where the machine learning operations we learn there. And in that case, you have there a golden model. That's the final model, which we say that this is the best model. And then this best model is deployed on the internet for the final prediction. Suppose that you are building a machine learning model which identifies the type of plant. So you have collected the data, you have pre-processed your data, you have retrained your model and evaluated it successfully. Thereafter, you deployed your model on AWS services. We will be using here AWS services for our model deployment. So once you deploy your model, then you can use that API to classify your image or the type of plant there. So this is a whole machine learning process, or you can see that how this machine learning pipeline works here. So this is kind of a very high level or abstract level introduction. In the coming lectures, I'll be showing you how you can actually use modules of the AWS services, Amazon Web Services, how you can use that to perform this machine learning process. Alright, this is all about in this lesson. I'll see you in next one.